Do you believe in magic? Idiot. Hey, friends. You think I'm going to repair this Oscar Schmidt Zither this weekend? Nope. Never going to repair this thing. I just use it in a corny way. And this corny way, I'm using it to introduce a special two-for for you. Now, I don't really do two-fors this year because I've been doing two-fors too much. But this week, this month, this time, these next two episodes will be sort of related in the fact that they're not relating to a regular old guitar. Because this guitar isn't broken. Nothing to do with it. I just play that weird zither. This instrument, though, is very similar looking now. But it's in mint condition, folks. When I hold it like this, do you believe in magic? Right? Just missing a couple strings. It's in beautiful condition. I want to tell you a story about it, man. Because there's something that I want to tell you about. I want to tell you about it, right? Because I like to tell stories, right? So I was at the swap meet, right? Cruising around on my own, you know, and I saw the instrument. It was in great condition. That's beautiful. You know what I mean? How much do you want for it? And he wanted like $50 for it. I was like, $50. He's like, it's got the original box. It's got the original instructions. It's got the original this. It's got the original key. And I was like, $50, huh? $50. What about, no. What about, no. $30. He's like, all right, $30. That's money changing hands. And old Guitkits was like, this is what he was like. I'll show you. Do you believe in magic in a young girl's dreams? Right? So I'm going to flip you around. We're going to look at it the way I saw it in its box with the thing. But before I do that, right, I want to tell you a little tale. Because I didn't really know too much information because I was researching it, right? And the guy's name on it, I'll give you the name, H.S. Nace. This guy, Horace Stephen Nace, right? He was a Philly type. He owned a dance studio in Philadelphia, the turn of the 20th century, meaning around 1890s, folks. Right? And he used to teach dancing in Philadelphia. But for some reason it fizzled out like 1896. And then all of a sudden he was managing a hotel in Lakewood, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Didn't really last that long, right? And then all of a sudden, he was selling zithers with some other guy. And that didn't last long either. But this particular instrument, there's a couple of them out there. Nobody really knows much about them because the address doesn't even exist where it's manufactured. I believe it was made probably by Oscar Schmidt. I don't know. So I was like, let me see if there's some experts that can give me information. Because I'm not like a zither head. I know a little bit about them, but I'm not an expert, right? So I found on the old Facebookaroo the fretless zithers of right. I was like, these guys will know. These guys will help me. I joined their little group. I posted some pictures, asked some questions. And the guy didn't even publish my post. I was like, so I waited a little while, and I was like, I have to post it again. Maybe they don't want like noobs coming in there like, what's this? And I offered information I just gave you. I said, hey, does anybody ever know anything? I was being all polite and everything. He wouldn't post it. I was like, he's like, this doesn't follow our rules, boy. They follow your rules, you So that's website, Facebook group, the zithers or he's a I will never, ever, ever, ever you're a man. I really, really because what would you have a Facebook page if you don't want to talk about zithers for? You know, you don't want to help me out? That's why I'm dedicating the next two episodes to fretless zithers. Right? I'll flip you around. Hey. Look at that. Look at the golden beauty of this thing. I'm thinking it was made by Oscar Schmidt. Nobody helped me with that because nobody likes me. Anyway, got the original key. This is the original box. Right? It's got like the original instructions that came with it. I don't want to mess up the original box. Oh. Isn't it interesting how cardboard has like really not really evolved at all? since its creation, man. Look at that. Cardboard's like exactly like the same looking. This is the song that was being played on the Titanic when it sank. I ain't fucking bullshit you there. You looked it up on Wikipedia. Anyway, let's see in the laboratory. We just gotta change out some of these strings, really. Right? And then tune it. You like the way that sounds, Noriega? See you in the laboratory, right? Don't mess with that box, man. The box belonged to my grandfather. He lived to be 112. And every day he just looked at the key and he said, Welcome back to the Summer of Plenty Laboratory. Plenty more for you to adore. For you and for your Hoover, right? So, this is, you know what I mean, beginning of a, you know what I'm saying, long and winding road. This is a very good condition instrument. And, what do we have going on here? Well, we have this guy, Nace, who got involved with Oscar Schmidt. There was a big Ponzi scheme. See, it says agents wanted up here. Like the old triangle scheme, right? Where Oscar Schmidt would get you all set up and like, okay, and now that we sent you this harp, you know what I mean, for $3, only $3, you got to, you know, get like 5 other salesmen all lined up. You got to pay them and you got to buy their harps, you know what I mean? All kinds of crazy stipulations. So what I'm thinking, this guy Nace probably, you know, made up this ghost, you know what I mean, address or whatever. And he just fucking absconded with this shit and never to be heard from again. And he was chilling in Lakewood, you know what I mean? On the porch, you know? Do you believe in magic? No, I'm not really seriously that angry about what happened on the Facebook thing. I was using that as like a crutch so I could try to use that little bleep sound because I thought that'd be pretty funny. It's called satire, you know what I'm saying? But I was kind of steamed off about that, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't as angry as I seemed to be. What do we need to do? Just gotta take off these screws so we can access the, you know what I mean, ends here. These mostly are put on with, we call like the loop end strings, man. Loop, man. That was popular before ball ends on all instruments, man. The steel nature. We have, if we look closely, this is like a regular round wound, and this is a, you know what I mean, another stainless steel kind of round wound. And then we have like, looks like coppers. These are all originals too. Bronze copper kind of thing going on here. And these, this side of them, these are all actually, these are flat wound strings up until like here, which is just like regular. You know, and we can just somehow figure this out. We have a whole bunch of, I ordered some more from AliExpress, but I have some mandolin strings. I believe this has got like 11s and 12s in there. And I got these guys, which are bronze. And it's got all kinds of stuff in there. So, I mean, probably get it between these packs. I got a set of dulcimers, which are nickel. I forget what the thick is on the nickel. But we have everything, I think, to pretty much make it look nice for the people. All right, so let's try to, you know, unscrew this and take a lurk. You lurky turkey. Now we got our panel exposed to the public. Loop ends, folks, just like I said, man. And we can pretty much figure out exactly what, you know what I'm saying. Even some of the missing ones have like little ones we didn't see under there. Between that and this, we can figure out, you know, what gauges we need perfectly. Look at this, though. I want to show you this because look at that wood, man. It's like the same condition it was like 110 years ago. 120 years ago, right? Figure Friedrich Menshauer patented this 1894, right? And it got copied by all kinds of companies for had a good run about 10 years. And then right around 1904, 1905, Oscar Schmidt switched to the one that had the, you know what I mean, the buttons on it. Because that was patented in 1903 with the little gizmo, you know what I'm saying, the Autoharp. And that was goodbye for this Bavarian harp. And then hello, Autoharp. And then they pushed that shit for years and years. It's still around. That's one of the few little remnants of Oscar Schmidt that still exists. So before we start putting those strings on here, because we're going to, you know, be very careful with this. This guy was stored in the original box. You know what I'm saying? In the original sort of, you know what I'm saying, environment for the entire time it has existed. So, these decals are somewhat lacquered, but I mean, they're not lacquered, you know what I'm saying? They were lacquered, pre-lacquered, but very easily scratched at this point. I don't want to put any chemicals on there or float those decals any more than they are. Just going to wipe it off with a nice cloth, you know what I mean? Go up the grades with the cloths. You know what I'm saying? Let's not use too much shit on here, you know what I'm saying? Just clean it off there, Sonny. You son of a skillet buster. It is, man. It's all wiped down. Wiped down, worn in a wonderful way. So we don't want to get any kind of waxes or any kind of cleaning agents on these strings because they're well over 100 years old, and I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? They sound so fresh, you know what I'm saying, in the box. Fresh. So I don't want to, you know what I mean? You get a little bit of cleanser agents on there, man, it's going to fuck it up. It wasn't that easy to wipe down either, you know, and I couldn't just, this is a very thin microfiber cloth. I just sort of stick, in here and sort of, you know what I mean, go under the strings like this, you know what I mean, in a way that, like, worked out well, Wellington. And then I braided a couple pipe cleaners together and I wove them under here to kind of clean that out. I didn't do that great of a job at it, but I mean, like I'm saying, Warren, we're going to put this guy back into the box. Right? That was great, right? We are going to string it up now, right? Because there's nothing else really to do. We're just going to use this and the key. We're going to look for, the correct sort of gauge strings. Now, this tuner, you're going to want on C, right? You're going to want it on C for that's just the regular old root note. That'll give you every single note. It's not going to go in any order. That's for guitar, that's for bass. That's for violin. That's for ukulele. My ukulele. So you want it on C. We're just going to stick it on some, orifice on this fucking thing. Get the key going, and then just wind it up, right? Luckily, I already sort of, gone on this guy a little bit on the tuner, and it's apparently a little bit, high tuned still for the most part. I mean, most of these are above pitch, which is a good thing because we don't want to have to stretch them, too much because they're very old. We don't want to break them. But the good thing is we're going to lower the pitch a little bit. That's good because there's a very, diminished chance of actually breaking them once we're, tuning them. Because this is where, in most cases, you're going to break them on an antique instrument when you're tuning it up. Right? The Bavarian harp. So let's get real Bavarian with it, man. Let's get these strings on here. Let's get it all tuned up. And I'll see you at that print, my appointed friends. It's all strung up. Look at that. Old and new. I only broke one string when I'm tuning it up. We replaced all the strings that were missing. You know what I'm saying? It was great. Luckily, right before I tuned it up, banjo strings came in the mail, and I also had ordered a silver-plated set of mandolin strings because I had the bronze ones, you see. This guy had a 15 in it, which was great. So between all these different packs of strings, I was able to sort of do it perfectly, the exact gauge that I needed. Everything sounds absolutely splendiferous. You know what I'm saying? Splendiferous. What a great moment. You know what I'm saying? Great moment to be alive. So we have 2 octaves up here. You know what I'm saying? C to C, right? And then we have the chords. Down here we got C, G, F. I want to go back to C. A. That's great, man. Great. All right, so let's put this guy back on. We'll see you at the glamour shots, right? That's all we needed, man. That's all we needed to talk about. Ready? Yeah, look at this thing, man. There it is. Unbelievable. I wasn't even too psyched about this. I was like, this is going to be like a joke month. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a joke-ass month. Jokey-ass bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I was essentially, a little bit bummed out. But once I got this guy on the lavatory bench, man, and I strung it up and I started playing it. I sat 4 hours, 5 hours. My fingers were all raw and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling like I'm a trained musician now, man. Like the real deal, holy filled. My man Nace, the ghost. This was Oscar Schmidt's big fucking bread and butter, man. That whole deal with this, you know what I mean? Which was patented, Meinschleigen or whatever his name was, 1894. And the Autoharp, I can see after playing it for a while why it overtook this, because basically I'm just playing with the chords. You know what I mean? I can't play the chords in this together because I'm not really like Billy Joel or nothing like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like messing with the chords. The Autoharp is basically just the chords. There's a gizmo over the damn thing, and you just play with the chords. You know what I mean? Really, and it's like a lot easier to sort of just jam out on. You know what I'm saying? But Oscar Schmidt got this guy, man. They were so jealous because around the same time, a guy Zimmerman in Philadelphia, he got the patent for the Autoharp, and that was huge. But Zimmerman was real protective of that patented, you know what I mean, instrument, but he couldn't produce all the pieces. So he had Oscar Schmidt as a jobber, you know, and making all the Autoharps, really. You know, so they're being made by the same company, but it was a bullshit kind of thing. And this guy Doles, he was a philanthropist. He owned like a whole like town. He like came in some serious money troubles, like right around Titanic time, you know what I'm saying? 1910s, you know what I'm saying? And he sold the total rights. You know, he owned Zimmerman, and he sold the Autoharp rights to Oscar Schmidt's competitor, Bell. And Oscar Schmidt went fucking nuts, man. They were crazy, you know what I mean? For years they fought about it, you know what I'm saying? And I think after 2 or 3 years bullshitting, like Oscar Schmidt owned it outright and made all kinds of rules about using the name Autoharp, and you know what I mean? The idea, even though it would become like a regular instrument, it was made by a couple different companies around the world. You know, and you couldn't call it an Autoharp. You know, it was a big legal thing going into the 1920s, man. Waste a lot of time and legal expertise on the Autoharp versus this guy got just dropped in the dust as soon as like, you know what I'm saying, as soon as they got the patent taken away from them. You know what I'm saying? For the other thing, man, they're just going full Autoharp, man. So, you know, a moment of silence for the 1896 crew, man. Right? 1894, whatever the fuck this is. Let's hear it, you know what I'm saying? We'll hear my fucking, my ghost Nace. This is probably his, like, you know what I mean, own model. He's probably sitting on the stairs in Lakewood playing it. I bet you he never recruited anybody to sell Bavarian harps because there's no, you know, he was running a little dance hall and there's all kinds of ads all over the papers about that shit. He's doing this, he's doing that. You know what I'm saying? There was not much information at all about this. I think he was working with a partner selling harps. It was mentioned in the 19, you know what I mean, 11 or something like that. But that's the only little mention. It wasn't like an advertisement. It was like one of those like out and about kind of thing. Whatever happened to, right? So let's hear it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like I'm saying fucking gonna play it like I'm Elton John, man. You know what I mean? Liberace fucking musician. You know what I'm saying? Companion. You know what I mean? Let's hear it. Ready? Come on. Then I'll tell you. Look after yourself, right? Peace be with you. Look after yourself. Peace be with you. There it is, man. The Nace, Naki, I don't know how to pronounce it really. I didn't even think about researching that. Bavarian harp, man. Also known as a guitar zither. Some people call chord zither, right? Some people call it a mandolin zither either. All kinds of zithering around. So, I mean, a lot of people are like, how do you play it? I mean, do you play it full, you know what I mean, loving spoonful? Do you play it whatever? Well, I find it's easiest as like a novice when you're trying to play both sections of stuff, you know what I mean, with, you know, together, that it's best to sort of have it sitting down and you're like slightly on top of it, like a piano kind of action. I don't know. I was just messing around with it. And but I mean, other than that, it's a beautiful sort of thing to just mess around with. I don't really mess with both parts of it. So I would just go like, you know what I mean, like this, man. Just like, oh man, loving spoonful, full spoonful, man. Now, in the scheme of things, 20 years ago, I was like in a band called the Derelicts, and I remember that my man Ricky, my man Ronnie, who passed away in 2006, was like the core of the lunacy at the time. And I remember right around this time, you know what I mean, a year, about 20 years ago, a beautiful August summer night, we were riding our bicycles all night through this like little town called Shark River Hills, lots of hills. And we were minding our own business, you know. We went down to the marina, you know what I mean. We just looked at the boats and stuff, man. And we just sort of had a wonderful time, just talk about life and just riding our bicycles in the middle of the night in this sort of like white bread town. And we started recording right around that time an album called NJT, right? And we had just released an album called Mr. Musty, I believe, and Holding On was a big thing there. And Ricky was kind of new to the fold. He just joined the band in May, and he took over musically right around this time. You know, when he started writing stuff, it wasn't just where he was not like playing bass marks, rolling the band, and just like writing the bass lines, and us playing around. He was writing everything. He's Brian Wilson it out. And there are a lot of great songs that he wrote during that period. Unfortunately, my man Ronnie died following March 2006. And Ricky had gone away for a couple months in the wintertime to Colorado to snowboard, and there was some bad blood between them. Ricky thought he sold his guitar, and there was a misunderstanding, and he slashed his drum heads and things, man. And Ronnie died, and they never shook hands and shit since that whole crazy incident. It was crazy. But I think it's all forgiven at this point, man. This is a song that Ricky wrote during that period, man. Listen to the chords, man. I don't even know if I can remember it. Been looking, nothing's missing, fixing things, but nothing's broke, got everything. What more can I want? Always something on my mind. There's always something wrong with life. Now I realize I'm all about myself. Don't care about nobody else. Hey man, I'm not gonna leave you like that, because it's like this guy's like, I watched this whole 17-minute video and he plays some stupid song that his band that nobody's heard of, recorded 20 years ago. I play a little bit of rock and roll, man. You could use a pick on this thing too, man. Right? You get this whole thing, right? Just a falling boys, born and raised in Detroit. We took the midnight train going anywhere. In a smoky room, smell of wine and cheap perfume. Took the midnight train going anywhere. Hey man, peace be with you. Sounds great, doesn't it? So this is we're gonna harp on the harp, man. Harp on the zither for August. Hey, I always tell my viewers right around this time of year also, if you haven't done anything with your family, go out and do it right now. Especially if you got kids. It's the summertime, they have off, and you have a couple of days off. Take them somewhere, you know what I mean? Don't have them going back to school and all their kids, friends in the classroom like, yeah, man, we did something real cool with some of your kids. Like, yeah, we went down on the unemployment. My dad got in a fight with a lady out front, and I got to tell child services taking me away. Right? You don't want that to happen. Peace be with you. See you next time, man. Try to keep cool. Right? Summer is plenty. Plenty more to come.